Hey, Chad here. And today I actually want to show you part of a keynote that happened in Las Vegas at the SharePoint Conference. They streamed the keynote live on Monday. And I recorded a small portion of that because they're talking about the immersive headsets and mixed reality in general and bringing that into SharePoint. Now, if you're not familiar with SharePoint, it's totally cool. It's a web building platform. They have web parts, and a lot of enterprises use it, especially for their intranets, where it allows you to easily bring in a bunch of different business data and things of that nature. So I've utilized SharePoint a little bit in the past. It's definitely not my expertise, but this is why it excites me, because SharePoint's a decent chunk of Microsoft's business. They have over 400,000 clients that's utilizing SharePoint, and by them incorporating mixed reality here, it shows they're looking, especially for the immersive headsets, they're looking beyond gaming and the consumer side, and actually more looking at businesses. And obviously you will be growing in there, but my point is this: now is a fantastic time to get into mixed reality development, to get into HoloLens development. So in one of the demos you'll actually see them utilizing a HoloLens, although they don't necessarily talk about that in this SharePoint spaces that they're showing off. So take a look. I hope you enjoy it. And I will say this as well: if you're kind of on the fence on whether you want to dig into HoloLens development or mixed reality development in general, let this show you that the opportunity is there, that Microsoft is actually seizing this opportunity. There'll be, they've confirmed that there'll be a second version of the HoloLens coming out at some point. So they're definitely moving on this. And if you're interested in developing for the HoloLens in particular, or even any mixed reality content, head on over to learnhololens.com. And if the doors aren't open, then jump on that notification list so you can be notified when the doors do open, because I'm basically going to make the content available to folks. So with that, I'm going to let you go ahead and watch part of the keynote here from the SharePoint Conference of 2018.
I've been accused of overhyping this moment a little bit, but I'll stick with it. How we could go to the even next level of building immersive, engaging experiences that help people learn, navigate information in organizations. Let me take you back a little bit in the history of SharePoint here. One of the things we've pioneered is bringing innovation to content collaboration. Now, sometimes we've been early, but I think ultimately in a lot of the cases, we were very forward-looking about where this space would go. And so with SharePoint Server, we were the first to bring together document management and web publishing into a single unified content management solution. We followed that up about a decade ago, bringing all that capability to the cloud with what became SharePoint Online and has grown, as Seth described earlier. And actually, the last time we were in Las Vegas with the SharePoint conference, we announced something that became the Microsoft Graph, where we're using signals and behavior and content to learn, to help people manage their time better and navigate information. And so a couple years ago, we were thinking about, where will this space go? What's the next, these are the past 3 waves. What's the next wave for us? And I started playing with some things around 3D, real-time, and mixed reality. And my first reaction to this stuff is, wow, this is really cool. Everybody's going to want to do this, just like they wanted a cool intranet site. But this is really hard. Programming in Unity or WebGL is super complicated. And so that's what we do in SharePoint. We take things that are needed to build immersive, engaging experiences and then make them accessible to anyone, from a PC with just a standard screen all the way up to an increasingly wave of innovative headset devices. So I am very, very excited today to bring back Adam, joined by Vidya, the first member of the team we had working on this project a couple years ago, to introduce you to an early preview of SharePoint Spaces. We're going to run a little video first, and then they'll demo.
More than ever, dynamic, impactful content is critical to the modern workplace. Introducing SharePoint Spaces, letting anyone create mixed reality experiences where data, documents, and files can be seen in immersive environments from any device. Create custom spaces where you can visualize and manipulate data in real time. Discover and interact with objects in 3 dimensions. Explore company knowledge, making onboarding more engaging. And experience vibrant, expansive 3D environments right at your desk. SharePoint Spaces lets anyone experience content in new and exciting ways, empowering us all to achieve even more.
Good morning, everyone. I am so thrilled to introduce you all to SharePoint Spaces. Today, to create an immersive mixed reality experience, you have to be really skilled in a game engine. You also need to understand the many technical aspects and physics that go behind the scenes, such as locomotion, spatial modeling, lighting, textures, sound, all of which may seem really complicated and overwhelming to most creators. What we set out to do is to make this experience so easy that anyone can author in mixed reality. If you can lay out a web page, if you know how to author a PowerPoint presentation, you can now build immersive mixed reality experiences using SharePoint Spaces. Imagine that I'm a content creator at Contoso Outdoor Gear, and I'm in charge of putting together an employee training program to onboard all my regional store managers. Now, normally, I would have built a communication site like this one, added a few pages, hooked up some content, and called it done. But today, I'm going to add a whole new dimension to this experience with Spaces. Spaces are tightly integrated with all of SharePoint, which means you can create a space from any SharePoint site. Now, you may have noticed that I'm actually using a Chrome browser on a Mac to build my space. Well, that is because SharePoint runs anywhere there is a browser, and SharePoint Spaces will run anywhere there is a browser because we use open standards. So today, today, I'm going to start my experience on a Mac and finish it on my favorite Windows PC. Okay, so first, to create a space, you pick a template. Now, templates are a pre-packaged set of spatial geometry, backgrounds, textures, themes, and ambient sounds. It's an easy way for you to get started. But the good thing about templates is that these are extensible, which means the 1 million plus SharePoint developer community will be able to bring in their personality and requirements with templates. Woohoo! So let's create a product catalog space and showcase the 2018 lineup of products for Contoso Outdoor Gear. What you're seeing here is a 3D editing canvas built using WebVR and Babylon.js inside our own SharePoint site. Now, when you start building a PowerPoint presentation, what do? You pick a template first, you change the backgrounds, change the font styles maybe, you customize it a bit, you add some content, you share it out. That's exactly what we're going to do here. Space design lets me customize the space to my liking. I can change the structure, change the theme, change backgrounds to a solid color, or to one of these beautiful 360 images. But a mixed reality experience is really incomplete without ambient sound. But with Spaces, we make that super simple as well. Now, I'm from Seattle. I like rain. I know that's not everyone's favorite. So I'm going to mute this for a second so that you can hear me speak. You get the idea. It's very simple to customize a space. Now, all there's left to do is add some content. The plus here brings up a familiar toolbox with a set of web parts. How many of you here have created a SharePoint page? So anyone who has ever authored a SharePoint page will understand what to do here right away because we are leveraging the same user experience. The only difference here is that these web parts are MR capable and understand how to render in a 3D space. Now, web parts carry all the power of SharePoint, which means they can host a variety of content types from 2D images to 2D videos to 3D objects or even 360 videos. They can be hooked up to different data sources, they can be updated dynamically, and they leverage the power and intelligence of the Microsoft Graph. And again, these web parts are also extensible, just like their 2D counterparts. So we're going to add a document library web part and bring in a catalog of products into this space. That's it. It's that simple. Now I can manipulate these objects. I can make them bigger or even make them fly. Now when you're happy with the space that you build, all you have to do is hit publish, and then your space is now live and you're intranet. That took me less than 3 minutes to build an immersive mixed reality experience with SharePoint Spaces. Now, anyone who has access to this site will be able to access this space as well. Space activity will show up in the site activity feed, in SharePoint Home, and of course search. Or you can even share the space with the unique URL. But wait, there's more. Because spaces are built on SharePoint, which is the world's best content management system, you can collaborate with your colleagues and build mixed reality experiences together. So this is a welcome space that my colleague Ed started building, and I'm going to complete it here. Now, think of a welcome space as the homepage of your website. What does a homepage of a website have? It has some content, and it has links to other pages so that you can tell a holistic story. We extended that same capability to mixed reality so that you can link multiple spaces together to tell a cohesive story. Let's see how that works. All I'm going to do here is add a 3D object. Now, I built this 3D object itself with Paint 3D and Remix 3D, and that took me less than 5 minutes as well. I open Object Properties. Here's a 2018 product space that we built on May 21st. It's all real code. That's it. I've linked two spaces together. But wait, there's one more thing. I want to talk a bit about 360 content types. Now, 360 capture devices are becoming more and more prominent in the industry, which is great because it lets us capture beautiful 360 videos and relive those memories. In fact, I'm recording this entire keynote with a 360 capture device over here so that I can take it back to Redmond and relive this over and over again. You're all amazing audience. I want to relive this. But the difficult part until this date has been to consume these 360 videos and images in a way they're supposed to be consumed. But with SharePoint Spaces, we made that super simple as well. All you have to do is use one of these devices, capture a 360 video, add it to your OneDrive and SharePoint libraries, and hook it up to a space. That's it. It's that simple. So I think our employee space looks pretty good now. All I have to do is hit publish, and our space is now live in the intranet.
Cool. What do you guys think of Video's demo? So Video showed you how to author SharePoint Spaces, and I'll show you a couple ways you consume it. Now, let's remember that one of the key messages here is that SharePoint Spaces mainstreams mixed reality. And so one of the points to get across is that SharePoint Spaces can be a fluid part of the internet that you already visit every day. So here I am in a typical comm site, beautiful, engaging. I can look at my customers, get resources. And it turns out that below, we've embedded a SharePoint space. I click on it, and it immediately jumps me into a SharePoint space. And it just so happens that at this company that sells physical objects, the best way of exploring the content in this library is through a SharePoint space in mixed reality. Zoom in, take a look at particular items, et cetera, et cetera. And that's all well and fine, and we do expect people to do that. But we've been talking to content creators for over 20 years, and they keep telling us that they want more engaging ways of getting the attention of incredibly busy people. And for those really important scenarios, whether it's launching a new building, having an envisioning center for remote employees, new employee orientation, a brand new product that launches, we really think that a mixed reality experience in a headset is a really great way of getting your employees to put their phone down, pay attention to the content you're creating. So we're going to do that real here today. The easiest way is for me to face the same direction as you. So I will go ahead and do that. Andy's going to get us set up. It's just one click to look at this in mixed reality, and Video will be facing you and telling you a little bit what's going on. Everybody still there?
So Adam's currently in the welcome space that we built just a few minutes ago.
All right, so here I am. I'm going to sort of just turn around a little bit so you can get the sense of this balance between information density and the expansiveness of scenery that is so important in mixed reality.
Let's now check out the product space.
All right.
Adam can browse through the catalog of products and explore them in much closer look.
Yeah, same thing we were looking at before, just sort of new and engaging ways to look through it. I'll go ahead and drill in on one particular object I've been looking at. So for instance, if I was a new employee trying to get up to speed on the products we sell, I can actually get really close, take a look at this tent, see how much of if it can fit a family of 4 in case somebody like that comes in, and really just get a sense of what's going on. You also notice that SharePoint Spaces can add annotations to 3D objects. So you can upload a bunch of 3D objects to this library like you see, and of course if they get, as new objects are added, they automatically appear here, but this annotation provides you to, allows you to add context to what's going on. Pretty cool, right?
Next, let's check out the data space.
Cool.
What you're seeing here is a 3D Power BI visualization showing the 2017 sales data and the projected 2018 sales data. Thank you.
All right, I'll walk towards the West Coast here to really zoom in on this. Somebody tell me if I'm about to hit a giant hashtag. You can sort of see, you can just get a sense of sort of drilling in a particular piece of data. As Vidya was saying, you can download particular data, share it to my OneDrive automatically, for instance, just a way that you can experience here, but still take the content with you in a different environment.
Awesome. Next, let's check out the people space.
All right.
Now, what you're seeing here is an org chart that was tailored to show the Seattle store. I want you all to think about one thing. SharePoint Spaces is so simple that I, who work in the skis department, I'm able to build this whole thing.
So you notice I took a step back so I can get a full sense of the org. You can also step forward and just sort of almost pan through each member of the organization, get a sense of who I'll be working with, for instance. And as you'd expect, this is Microsoft. So this is all connected to the Microsoft Graph, including LinkedIn. The same data that you'd expect in the web experience appears here too. So I can even drill in on Marcella here, see her skills from LinkedIn, on the web or in mixed reality right here as well.
Finally, let's check out the 360 video we added a few minutes ago.
All right, there you go.
Now, this was one of the customer submissions that we received. They wanted to share how amazing their camping experience was because of all the products they purchased from Contoso Outdoor Gear. Adam, make sure you warm yourself up by that fireplace.
Yeah, there we go. I think it's actually hot enough in Vegas already. I'm going to take this off. You get a little squeamish, careful as this thing rotates like this. What do you guys think? So I experienced this in a Windows mixed reality headset. You all can as well. On the 3rd floor, we have SharePoint Spaces booths where you can both author a space as well as see what we saw today. And because we're based on WebVR, this not only works in Windows Mixed Reality, but it also works in any tethered headset, HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, etc. We're super excited to be able to present this to you today. Thank you for your time. We'll bring Jeff back up on stage now.
Awesome. Like, I've been waiting for it. It's just like 18 months ago, I wrote a 2-page doc that said, Intranet meet the metaverse. What if we didn't just do HTML, but we did WebGL? We built a team, and they just did a killer job. We have a long way to go, as Adam sort of talked about. But just to recap the key moments, messages here. This is for everybody. So, of course, we'll enable engaging experiences with a headset. We know not everybody has a headset on at all times in the workplace. We get that. And so we're going to create amazing, engaging experiences on conventional screens with the technical approach we took. We're empowering creators. We want, just like we did with PowerPoint and SharePoint, to enable anyone in minutes to create these amazing new ways to represent and navigate information. And of course, one of the complexities about a navigational space where you're going through multiple spaces is having them dynamic and personalized. And of course, you can code that all yourselves, but why bother when the underlying AI, the Microsoft Graph, will help you? And again, just like SharePoint, this is going to be an app and a platform. We are teaching the SharePoint framework about WebSockets and WebGL so that you can build these real-time 3D amazing spaces that run in the browser and headset. So anyway, as Adam said, this is the URL to apply for the preview. I'm so proud of the team that we got real running code here. We do have a lot of work left to do to ship this later on. And so please, we can't wait for the ideas you have about where to take this. So that's SharePoint Spaces. To recap the engagement section this morning, use SharePoint Pages and News, increase your relevance for audiences on communication sites. We have, as Adam talked about, metadata and targeting coming, and then apply for the first phase of the limited preview for SharePoint Spaces.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed seeing that. Again, it's pretty exciting stuff how Microsoft is going to be incorporating mixed reality inside of SharePoint. Now, they're using Babylon.js and they're using WebVR really to make that occur. They're not really using Unity. But the point is that Microsoft is banking on the immersive headset and the mixed reality technology, and will be incorporating the HoloLens into it as well. So opportunity is here. Don't get left behind. You're not too late at this point, but yeah, now's kind of the time to be jumping in and getting on the ground floor and learning what it takes to create these 3D experiences. All right, well, I hope you have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video.